So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Michael Porter.
Well, Mark, thank you. That was embarrassing, but much appreciated. And it's truly great fun for me to be here. I'm an engineer by training, aerospace engineer, and I love projects. And what you guys do in this field is actually a core discipline of management. It makes things happen. It's particularly important to make change, to get things done in organizations that are non-routine, that require new ideas and advancements and innovation. But I think the reason I'm here, and I think Mark just said it well, is that actually any project or any program is just inevitably embedded in a strategy for the overall organization. And ultimately, if we don't understand that strategy, and if that strategy isn't well thought through, then we can't decide whether we've got the right project or the right program. If we don't have clarity on the strategy, we can't decide whether we've got the right goals and specifications for our project or our program in terms of what we're trying to achieve. And if we don't have a clear sense of the overall strategy, then it's pretty hard to connect a project or a program to what's going on elsewhere in the organization in a way that would ultimately deliver value and competitive advantage, or good service to the community if you're a government agency, or whatever you do. So fundamentally, strategy and project and portfolio and program management are kind of joined at the hip. And the question is, how do we ensure a very clear and powerful connection and alignment between those things? Now, one way of doing that is to rely on your senior management. They're the ones that have to worry about strategy, and they tell you what the strategy is, and therefore you make sure that the program or the project is aligned. But I will tell you that that's not what I think we need to rely on. I think ultimately to do your job well, you have to have a really good idea and a really good sense of what the strategy is. And what we find over and over again is often senior management are not necessarily that good at communicating strategy and making it clear for reasons I'll talk about a little bit later. So I think those of us sitting in this room, we have to take responsibility for this too. We have to have the insights and the disciplines to understand strategy and how to connect it to what we do, to supplement the kind of top-down transmission process. So in this session, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about what are the core concepts of strategy. This is not going to be a whole course, but it's going to be an effort to give you all the tools to think about strategy. And thinking about strategy is about thinking about the whole. Rather than thinking about the project or the function, strategy is about thinking about the whole company. How does the whole company fit together? Strategy is about thinking not about a particular technology or a particular competitor. Strategy is about thinking about the whole environment in which the company is operating. The whole circumstances outside that the company is having to respond to. That's what strategic thinking is all about. What I find still today, despite the fact that this is a well-established discipline and there's lots of courses on it, is still strategy is relatively misunderstood in a lot of organizations. There's a lot of misuse of the word strategy. There's a lot of sort of mistaken simplicity that people use when they talk about strategy. So hopefully in this session today, we don't have a lot of time, but I'm very confident that in 1 hour, we can all get on the same page and really understand these these fundamental principles. And hopefully these will give each of you an opportunity to not just try to figure out what the top management wants done, but actually be involved in that discussion in a very proactive way.